Welcome to the first episode of Bytetalks. In this series, we will be bringing you interviews with college seniors, professors, and industry specialists. Today, we are joined by Dr. Akhil Kumar, a professor at Bennett University. Let's dive in.
So myself, Dr. Akhil, and presently I am associated with Bennett University, Noida. And before that, I was a part of VIT Chennai, and there I was taking care of subjects like Python, programming language C, machine vision, and with my capstone students, which were allocated from fourth year, I was particularly working on the problem of object detection and natural language processing. So this is just a brief about me, like the journey which I had in past 6 to 8 months.
Thank you, sir. Let's start with some questions about teaching experience. What are your thoughts on teaching, and what do you find most rewarding about it?
First of all, teaching is a self-motivated effort. Nobody can, nobody can force you to teach, because when you are entering into the class, you are dealing with people, you are dealing with living beings. Students are not some objects which can be passed and passed as an input from one side, and from other side we will get the final product. We have to reshape the students. So my thought on this is that as a teacher, first of all, we have to be a good human and consider the 60 or 80 students present in front of us as humans, because what we expect for ourselves, the same we should deliver to the students, right? So teaching is a self motivated effort where we have to shape the students, and it is not only academically, it is at life level as well, because students are raw. They have not seen anything as of now in their life. They have just completed their grade 12, and they have just become big in size, but still they are kids by brain. So as a teacher, I feel that teacher, I mean, we should be motivated enough to understand understand students, and try to get a personal connect with them so that we can understand the needs of a student. So that is something which motivates me, because I love to interact with kids, let it be of any age, not only the college going students, wherever learning is there. So whosoever is learning the thing for the first time, I think that is a kid for that, right? For that particular stream. So learning is something that motivates me, and with the students, it is always it is always an environment which is created by the surrounding, where the students are learning, and from students we learn a lot, because we just have a limited knowledge of what we have learned in past. But with students, we come across new questions every day, new problems every day. Apart from academics, we come to know many new things in technology, so that we can incorporate. So overall, it's a learning experience, and it just motivate us every day to come with something new in the class.
Thank you, sir. बहुत अच्छा बोला आपने. As an AI enthusiast, could you share your insights on the field of AI? Can you provide an overview of computer vision and ML?
देखो, इस चीज के लिए मैं बहुत सिंपल सा आंसर दूंगा.
Hmm.
सिंस AI has got hype in last 8 to 10 months only after GPT. Before that, nobody was talking about AI, but autonomous vehicles were there from last 2 years. They're already there from last 2 years, but nobody is talking about those, right? If we talk about ticket vending machines in metro stations, they are also there from last 3 to 4 years, but nobody was talking about the same. And not only this, in medical field, for assistance of doctors, artificial intelligence based systems were already there to predict what is the problem, what is the disease, but nobody was talking about it. But since after the introduction of GPT, it has become very common that AI is coming, it will kill our jobs, it will just replace the humans. Nothing will happen. AI is a bliss to us, And how it is a bliss to us? Because it will enhance the domain of computer science. Like, we are computer enthusiasts, you are also doing BTech in computer science. So artificial intelligence is something which can take this field and which can keep this field surviving for next 25 to 30 years. Because right now we are in the era of very weak AI, where we have only things like GPT, which can only provide us output based on the input which already it has. That is the data set it is trained upon, and right now it is trained only on wiki corpus data set. So whatever information is with Wikipedia, it is only providing that by compiling it, right? So we need not to fear about AI. Instead we should leverage it. Because if we learn machine learning, if we learn deep learning, if we learn computer vision, if we learn natural language processing, if we learn about drones, if we learn about robotics, ultimately we have to inculcate artificial intelligence into it. Even if we talk about robots, we have to inculcate artificial intelligence into it so that it can make some decisions, right? If we talk about drones are there from last 10 to 12 years. But what we are using drones as to just capture pictures by putting the cameras, and manual control is from a person sitting on the ground. But what if the drone is capable of taking decision of itself? And how it will become possible? By programming. Because drone is just a collection of hardware. So we should not look at the negative side of it. Instead we should look at positive side of it. And it has a lot of positivity, because artificial intelligence is the only domain which will keep computer science surviving for next 25 to 30 years, and replacing the domain of mechanical engineering, computer engineering. Because the next big thing is robotics and virtual reality or augmented reality. So if we have to do something in augmented reality, obviously artificial intelligence will be there. If we have to do something with drones, if we have to do something with robotics, although they are part of mechanical engineering and electronics, because they are made up of electronic components, and kinematics has come from mechanical engineering. So just imagine, it is a multidisciplinary, it is just interdisciplinary between mechanical engineering, electronic engineering, electrical engineering, and the soul of that product, that is the reasoning of that product, is coming from computer science. Because all these machines are there from last 10 to 12 years. But it is because of the artificial intelligence they are getting the boom. Because now we are using robots for delivery. We can feed the robot, we can feed robots that they have to move from location 1 to location 2, and they are able to make the decisions. Although we already have chatbots. What chatbots are there? They are also bots, but they are not mechanical in nature, they are just softwares, right? So we should take it in a positive spirit and look about the perspectives in artificial intelligence, so that we can enhance our skill and make ourselves industry able, so that we can work in the field of mechanical engineer when it comes to kinematics of robotics or drones, or in the field of electronic engineering when it comes to the electronic part of the or the components of the drones and robotics. Because they are also computers, they are having a motherboard, RAM, right, GPU, and everything. So the future is bright.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. And sir, may I ask you why you specifically chose to specialize in computer vision?
Why I specifically choose to, why I have chosen computer vision? See, we as humans can see the world, but now we are sitting in front of the computer. It is also having a camera. Using the camera, we can see each other, but it cannot see of its own, right? Suppose we put a camera somewhere, and the camera is connected to the CPU and GPU, it will not be able to make any decision. So computer vision is the field by which we can enable machines to see the world. And once machines start seeing the world, obviously it will bring autonomous vehicles which are already there. The machines will start to see, okay, this is a speed breaker. The car will be able to see, okay, this is a car in front of it, so that it can put a brake, right? This is just one example. The robots can see, okay, to this particular person based on the dimensions, based on the predictors of that person. I have to deliver the product, right? Other than this, if we talk about vision in medical, like if we right now we have scarcity of doctors when it comes to surgery, right? Only one doctor is there, but five or six medical staff is there who is providing scissor, knife, and other medical equipments. Suppose a robot is there who can see, we can just have a specialized robot which can provide all the essentials used for carrying out the surgery. So it depends, because right now we can only make reasoning from the computers. We can make computers able to reason based on the text data. What if images are there? Right now we have surveillance camera installed on every highway and most of the roads, which capture the vehicles which are over speeding, and immediately we get the challan on phone. How? Because they are capturing, the shot, they are having the shotgun capturing. If the speed is above this, it will be considered as over speeding. So see, that is an advantage, and it is just an example. If we extend it to the large extent, we can see that a lot of accidents take place on the road. If we know at this particular place the pothole is there and the government is not doing anything, in the car itself we have a camera which can detect the dimension of the pothole, and it is fatal to the car or to the other commuters on the road. Immediately the information can be sent to the government authorities and that pothole can be filled. So computer vision has application everywhere. Let it be general object detection, or medical object detection, or let's say if you talk about the speed thing, there we have the application of object detection. Other than this, to I mean for farmers, it has the biggest application. Right now our farmers are facing the problem of intruders. They are waking up throughout the night, and the life of farmer is based on, the economy of farmer is based on 6 month of wait period, right? Suppose we have drones and we provide such drones, like government is providing 6,000 every year to farmers, because if their crop is mutilated because of the rain. So every farmer, most of the farmers are getting 6,000 per year. Now imagine the same farmer is provided with a drone, like for a given what you call it, the specific, the panchayat region. If a drone is provided and that drone is flying in the night, and if it detects, okay, here we have the intruder, like in form of an animal, right? Or if there is a fire in the agriculture field, so what will happen? It will generate the alarm. If it is generating the alarm in early, that will that will help out the farmers, that will help out the farmers to fix the issue. And other than this, in cities like Delhi, we have problem of pollution during the
Okay.
month of October to January because of stubble burning in nearby areas. So if we have such devices which we can place in agriculture fields, we can detect, okay, we don't need smoke detectors, we actually need who is burning the stubble, who is actually doing that activity. Suppose we have cameras installed in all four directions in an agriculture field. What will happen? First of all, it will help us to identify the intruders so that the farmer can immediately take the action. Second is, if there is a fire, if there is some kind of fire, or some other problem is in the agriculture field, the farmer will come to know. This can be achieved with CCTV cameras, but along with that, if we add computer vision, if we add artificial intelligence, what will happen? It will generate the alarm as well. Because with normal CCTV cameras, we have to make a person to sit to observe the video throughout the day. So that again is an effort. To save that effort, we can add computer vision, right? Other than this, we can observe the quality of crop, we can observe the quality of fruits. If there is some disease in the crop, we can early diagnose it, right? We can early come to know about it and can fix, right? If we talk about foreign countries, pesticides are sprayed using drones in the agriculture field. So computer vision is something like providing vision to the machine which is missing you know existingly. And if we provide vision incomplete to the machines, I think most of the human problems will get solved. We as humans are born to relax, not to run behind the things. If we make such machines, see why we have, why we have developed a cycle, why we, first come up with a cycle or with a car, to move from one place to another, to move early. Otherwise, God has given us legs. We can move from one place to another. Earlier, people were using their legs. Then they came with cattles. Then they came with, horses. Then they came up with, a bullock cart. But those were time consuming. To save our time, we came up with cycle, then with bicycle, then with motor car. Then now we have airplanes. We can go from Delhi to Chennai by walk. People are doing. Even Rahul Gandhi has, did a Bharat Yatra from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. It took some month. I mean, it took some 1.5 months. But just take the example of a flight. It is just taking 2.5 hours. So what it is? It is just for our convenience. It is making the things easy for us. Human is born to relax. Humans are born to, leverage the things around them, not to, not to struggle, not to put a lot of struggle into doing the things. So if we have complete AI and, complete computer vision, I think most of the problems will get resolved, related to food, related to floods, related to, accidents, related to medical issues, right? So these are just domains, and these are endless because humans have endless problems.
True, sir. Uh, Sir, you have published papers on using ML in medical image analysis. Can you please share some insights on the same?
See, we as student of computers can only work on algorithms. We are no one to validate, because validation has to come from medical community. If I take example of yours, you have fever, right? And you go to chemist and take paracetamol. You take paracetamol for 2 days, but still you don't get any relief. Then what you will do, you will again go to the chemist, and the chemist will give you some other medicine like paracetamol plus other combination. You again take it for 2 days, but still you don't get any relief, right? Why you are not getting any relief? Because you are trying to become doctor yourself. But if at the same time, in the beginning itself, if you have went to a doctor would have correctly identified the problem. Is it because of the typhoid? Is it because of malaria? Is it because of dengue? Or is it because of some other reason like infection in body? But we as general, what we do, okay, if it is fever, paracetamol. If it is stomach ache, okay, gas tablet. But we never know what is the actual reason behind it. So to identify, the actual problem, doctors are there, and let doctors do their work. And we as a computer enthusiasts, we should develop algorithms that can help the doctors, that can assist the doctors in, easing their job. Suppose we have a doctor. Let's say we talk about COVID is something which was a very long period, and a lot of people suffered from the same time. So the people who were getting infected with COVID, they got pneumonia, right? They got chest infection. Now if we go through the CT scan of, chest of a person who is having pneumonia or a COVID pneumonia, because that was COVID pneumonia, you will hardly be able to identify unless you do a RT-PCR test for COVID. But yes, when we look from the pixel information of that CT scan, we will find, yes, there are some differences, right? That cannot be seen using naked eyes. Suppose I have a CT scan of COVID pneumonia and normal pneumonia. If I enlarge the picture, if I go deep into the pixels, I will find that there is some difference in pattern in those CT scans or X-rays. What doctor will do? First he will advise you to do CT scan or X-ray, then he will advise you to go for RT-PCR test, for which the report will come after 12 hours, right? So as a computer enthusiast, what we can do, if we know about AI, we can create an object detector, or we can create an object classifier which can classify between the pixels of COVID CT scan or non-COVID CT scan. So what it will do, it will immediately provide us the result. Okay, this is COVID. Although it is not 100% sure, because we have to get it validated from the medical community, right? But it will help the doctor to early diagnose the disease and to give the preliminary treatment. It will save the time of the doctors and it will save the life of the patient. And it is not only in the case of this particular COVID. If we take cancer, it take months to identify cancer, because there are multiple tests that are carried out to diagnose cancer in body. We cannot diagnose cancer in one instance. There are multiple tests, right? There are multiple tests, and in most of the tests, if the cancer is in early stage, we will miss out. And a lot of scanning of body by multiple ways is done. But suppose we have the complete scan of the body, and if we pass it to the computer, a computer based algorithm, and if we get a little bit of trace in detection, right, or on the basis of vital stats of the person, at least we can make a prediction, so that doctor can start from there itself and just move to the final test. Right. So medical image analysis or medical image diagnosis is something in computer vision, whereas computer enthusiasts, we can provide the preliminary solutions in the form of detection in images, in form of pattern recognition in images, or in form of identifying the patterns in the vitals of a person. But it is the doctors who have to make the ultimate call, right? We cannot prescribe medicine even if we detect a disease in the image, because I started with paracetamol example. That is very true, and it generally happen with us. We start with paracetamol and end up with typhoid, right? Not to blame any company, I'm not taking name of any company. Paracetamol is generic name of that tablet, so I'm not talking about any company, but yes, it is like that only.
Uh, Sir, you have told us about the application of AI. I wanted to ask you about if I am interested in AI. So, what is the roadmap for it?
Yes, roadmap depends on two aspects. That I will again start philosophically. Suppose you want to go to Jammu from Chennai. You can take the direct Chennai, I mean, you can directly take the Kanyakumari Srinagar highway.
Hmm.
That is a straight road. Otherwise, you can take the other way. Like first you go to Andhra, from there you go to Madhya Pradesh, and then from there to Delhi, and then to Jammu and Kashmir. So roadmap is dependent on a person, that is what his interests are, because not every person is interested in computer vision. If I talk about AI, not every person is interested in not natural language processing, because there are people who don't like to play with text, there are people who don't like to play with signals, there are people who don't like to play with videos, there are people who don't like to play with images, although images and videos are same. But yes, if I talk about the roadmap in simple, right now we are into the era, I mean, I'm talking from the perspective of India, because we are little bit behind as compared to western countries. Right now Google is our savior. Right now Google is our savior. And when we open Google email, I mean Gmail, it predicts of its own. If I write hi, the next line will come of its own, that how are you. Suppose if I'm responding to my boss, it will automatically give me acknowledged, thanks for understanding. So from where it all is coming, it is coming from AI only. Basically they are using BERT model for mail compose. That is one thing. Now people have seen GPT also. Even I have used GPT to solve multiple questions. It is saving my time. Suppose I have to solve 10 questions, instead of reading 10 books and then writing of my own, I will just put it in the GPT input, and it will immediately provide me the best solution. So obviously it is saving my time. The same is with object detection and other areas. We have robotics, where we are having the ready to go robotics, yeah, ready to go robots which can help us. So other than this, we have robots. I mean, in Switzerland, we have best of the places which are developing the best of the robots and everything. There they have created robots. In future, we even need not to marry. We will get a robot which we can customize by putting the type of hair we like, the type of emotions we like, the type of body we like. आज के टाइम में बोलोगे पैर दबा तो वो गला दबा देगी. What will actually पैर दबाना. Try to understand my concern. आज वाइफ को बोलोगे पैर दबा तो वो गला दबाएगी, लेकिन वो पैर ही दबाएगी, right? But right now it is very expensive. But after 5 or 6 years or 10 years down the line, when it will become cheap, I think it will replace the marriages, because everybody wants a person who is listening to them, right? So when we have a robot with customized features, by changing the color of hair, by changing the facial style, by changing the variables, and the best part is the person is listening to us. So who want to miss that deal? So the roadmap is very clear. For next 10 years, it is augmented reality, which we have to take to next level. I mean, jokes apart, that was just for your understanding, because that is happening in AI. People are taking use of those things, but who are rich enough to afford such expensive wives, right? So augmented reality is something that you have to focus upon, because in near future, it is only with the wearable glass you will be able to see the world. Because when machines are there to do our work, when the people with having some tag with them to track them have work for us, then why do we need to go to the field? As an owner, I will just wear a glass and I will come to know about what is happening around me, what is happening at my place, right? And when we have augmented reality, we can connect in real. That is one thing which is going to boom in coming years. Right now, because of the expensive hardware and everything, and very limited developers for those, we are in the weak era of the same. But in next 5 to 10 years, it is going to take boom. The second thing is medical driven AI. We all take medicines, but we don't know how medicines work. Suppose I'm taking medicine of stomach ache. Although the medicine is going to the stomach, but the first thing is it is giving the signal to the brain. Your stomach is having the problem, so it will numb the brain, so that we will not get any pain. The pain is there, but we are not feeling it, right? Because they are not curing any disease. If we talk about medicine, none of the medicine cure any of the disease, it just give us the relief. But yes, if you go through the recent papers, and such papers have published in Nature, in future we are going to have medicines which will reach out to the particular area where the problem is there. Suppose a person is having problem in the little finger, the medicine will be directed towards that little finger through oral intake. So that medicine will have all the properties and the values which are required to take that medicine to that pill to that particular point. And it is going to be the most helpful for the cancer patients, because cancer is at a particular point in the body, it is not throughout the body. Right now what is happening, the person is taking the medicine and it is affecting the entire body. Otherwise it should only cure the part where the cancer is. So tablets, pills, capsules in future are coming, which will directly go to that will directly reach to the area where the cancer is. So in medical, in medical intelligence, this is a particular domain which is coming in future. You as a computer enthusiast has to program such devices, right? And other than this, if I talk about that what is the next big thing, so obviously drones are the next big things. Because today if we go to the market and buy a good drone, it will cost us around 4 lakh rupees, which is very expensive. Instead of buying a drone, I will buy a car, right? Because car is more helpful to me in regard, I mean, when I compare it to a robot. But yes, robots are going to be next big things. Drones are going to be next big things in future, when they will be able to make decisions. And obviously for cooking the food, obviously, for vending the stuff, obviously to take things from one place to other, it will save our time. So what I suggest to everyone, not to, I mean, I'm no one to suggest, because for my survival, see, I'm an enthusiast of artificial intelligence and computer science. So for my survival, I have started learning robotics and I mean augmented reality, because after 5 years I will get students who want to learn augmented reality, because that will become a curriculum, that will become a subject for BTech students. 5 years down the line, right now we have robotics in every university as a curriculum, but there is only one subject on robotics. Rest apart, it is C, C++, Java, Python, and robotics is just, although we are doing specialization in robotics, but only one subject on robotics is there. But 5 years down the line, it will be about the complete robotics, each hardware of the robotic, each the mechanical part of the robotics, each the arm, fork, and everything of the robotic, how to tune it, how to manufacture it. So everything is going to be taken over by the entire the core area of that field. Same is with augmented reality. Right now there are few universities which are offering courses on virtual reality and augmented reality, and what they offer, just a practical subject where they have to wear Google glasses and see what is happening. That is not the real stuff. The real stuff is how to develop that Google glasses, how to program those. So in next 5 to 10 years down the line, when the technology will become cheap, since we are living in India, we will also start working on the same. So as a teacher, I have already started learning the same, so that after 5 years, when the students are coming for such courses, we should be able to deliver knowledge on the same.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, can you share your college experience shaped your can you share how your college experience shaped your personal and professional growth? Are there any important lessons you have learned that have helped you in your career?
See, if I talk about my career, I have worked with the Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University for women. There I had my own experience. I have worked with the Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University. Although I am a product of that university only, I have done my BTech and MTech from there. So I had my own experience there. I have worked with VIT as well. There I had my own, experience. Right now I am associated with another university. There I have my own experience. See, these are just places where we will find people have, I mean, I will only talk about the people who have high thinking, because they are the only ones who are going to help you to achieve your goals in career. See, it is only it is always wise to look at the good side, because negativity has no limit. It is always good to see at the good side of our parents, our family, our colleagues, our workplaces, our educational institutes, and everything else in life. So, if you want to particularly ask about my journey at VIT, it has been wonderful. It has been really wonderful, although I have stayed there for a short time. But yes, as a faculty, I can say that it was a wonderful journey. The institute helped me in providing all the facilities to carry out the research, which is, the food for a faculty or for a teacher, because you as a student are attempting your exams regularly, then you will get a degree, and we as a teacher has to learn a new thing every day, and then has to implement that new learning to create something. So at VIT, I have come in touch of many people who have helped me out in learning the new systems. Like, for you can talk about how to conduct online exams in an efficient manner, how to conduct research in the best possible way, to identify, okay, this is the problem which is unexplored. Because we have best of the minds in VIT. We have best of the minds. The problem is personal, it is not professional. Right, with you also the problem is personal, not professional. Because what I feel, as a person, as a faculty, and from the student point of view, that what I have taken as feedback from students, our problems are personal. We are staying away from our family, that is personal problem. We cannot keep it for the lifetime. Suppose in future you got a very good job in Israel, would you reject it? No. Suppose in future you get a very good job in Saudi, would you reject it? No. Then would you say that it is very hot there? Suppose in future you get a very good job in Canada, so would you say that it is 6 months of snow, or it is very cold there? So all these are personal problems. If we are staying in Canada, the same homesickness will be there. The same problems related to climate and weather will be there. If we go to Africa, the problems are same. So what I feel from my experience, we have taken our personal problems to next level. We have considered that our personal problems are the real problems, and we are not focusing on the professional goals. As a student, we are not focusing on learning, we are focusing more on personal problems. As a person, as a faculty staying there, I was focusing more on personal problems rather on professional. Because VIT is providing us everything. There is no problem in the institute. It is providing us best of the faculties in terms of, I mean, facilities, in terms of faculties, in terms of the infrastructures, in terms of the labs, in terms of the timetable, in terms of the curriculum, in terms of flexibility. Right, what a person expect in life. We are not in IIT, but still we are in an institute, or I was in an institute where I can proudly say that I am getting the facilities at par with IITs. We have to understand this. Although I am talking to you this, not, I mean, since I'm not a part of VIT, so I can say anything, but still try to understand as a student. And I believe the entire student community should understand, it is the demographic problem of the India. We cannot say, if in future, let's say if you were in IIT Mandi, I cited this before, would you have been saying that it is very cold there, that I want to run away from that place? Then why to, why to say that it is very hot? It is a demographic problem. It is not a problem of student or the institute. Try to understand this, and try to gain the maximum exposure in the institute. See, we have VNest in VIT, which is providing us facility to incubate startups. You can contact with seniors. There are many of your seniors who, instead of taking a job, started a startup, and they are doing well in their life. And you are saying, that how is my journey? Even I had a student during the capstone project who got a very good job. See, ultimately, what is the outcome of a BTech? If I talk in present day scenario, what is the outcome of a BTech? It is a good job. Good job in sense, you are becoming an engineer after doing a BTech. So you should get a job of engineer. Otherwise, BA is there. If our output is to start a tea shop, or if we want to become an entrepreneur where we have to start a thela of chole kulche, then what is the need of doing a BTech? The outcome of BTech is to become an engineer. So you are going to become a computer engineer, or a software engineer, right? Or the amalgamation of computer and software engineer, right? So we have to focus on the objective. The second thing is learning process. In our institute, we are putting every effort that a student learn the concept in detail. Because we are learning based on application based pedagogy. Because just take example of any other university, lab manual is defined. You have to do this 10 experiments, one student do and other copy it, the lab manual is ready. But here you have to solve that on a particular platform. So what it is doing, although even if a student is weak, if he is not able to learn 100%, even if he learns 20%, so somewhere it is going to help him in his life. When we talk about internal, or I mean the cat or fat exams, they all are application based. If you know the concept, you can apply the concept to solve that problem. So same is the life of an engineer. After 3 years down the line, when you will be sitting in the industry, what you will do, you will get a problem, look for the solution on the net, and try to curate that particular solution as per your need. So we are, at VIT, shaping the minds, and that is true. And it is not only the students, faculties are also getting shaped there, because the workload is very less. We are more into, we are given more time to do research. And even if we are not publishing, but still we are reading something new. If we are reading something new, obviously new knowledge is coming to us, and same we are delivering in the class. Right, it is not only about just one book of C, it is more about using the C. You have to understand from that particular point. And most of the students who are facing, it is the personal problem, it is not the problem of the institute. I will emphasize on this, because weather is not in the hands of anyone. Right, staying away from parents is not in the hands of anyone. In future, we have to work anywhere in the world, because now it is the era of globalization, and everywhere the demography is different. So from my personal experience, I can only say that, first of all, as VIT, we are a very good institute, at par with IITs. The second thing is, we are providing best of the facilities to the students. The third thing is, the student quality is also very good, because students are actively working. You will not believe, a fourth year BTech student is publishing an SCI paper, which is difficult for a PhD student. So just try to understand the level of students we have. Right, even there was a student with me who did everything of his own, who did writing of his own, of the level of IEEE. I was just a communicator with the journal. So just try to imagine the level of student we have. So they are writing papers first. I mean, they are writing papers. They are helping teachers in solving the problems. So teacher was just, I mean, I as a teacher was just a mentor to check for the grammatical mistakes. Even if I'm not good in English, but still we have tools like Grammarly. So whatever content he's providing me, although I was checking using Grammarly, but yes, I was looking at the structure of the paper, because he was writing for the first time. The other student was there, he also published a paper with Elsevier. He did everything of his own. So we have such students in our institute who can do great, really great. But the only thing is, we all have to come out from the personal problems, which is related to demography. Because we are living in India, it is one. In Kashmir, it is really very cold. In, suppose you are in IIT Jodhpur, what would you have been seen? I'm feeling hot, I'm sweating throughout the day. You would have not run away from that institute. So same as with VIT. Try to adapt. It is just a matter of 2 or 3 years, right? You are having a complete circle of friends. There are support. I mean, you have support of friends throughout the day and night. So somehow try to instead of focusing on these lame issues, focus on the real learning. You have laptops, just try to, I mean, for a computer engineer, a computer and an active internet connection is sufficient to learn everything. So try to harness, try to leverage these things, and become a good computer engineer. Even if in a future, even if in future you are starting a business or a venture, you have to focus upon, you should be knowing about the technology. We talk about Google, that a startup started from from a university campus, but we have to think about that Larry Page and Sergey Brin, they were doing PhD there in computer science only. If we talk about Elon Musk, just go through the qualifications of Elon Musk. He has qualification in every other field which is required for a business. If we talk about Amazon, the biggest business player, Jeff Bezos is also an engineer. So try to understand, even if we have to start a business in future, even if we want to become an entrepreneur in future, the very first thing is our basics should be clear. For management, we have people. We are not supposed to hire people. We can keep an HR. He will hire the people for us. But we should be knowing about our business, that what actually we are dealing with, if it is technical in nature, right? एक चाय बनाने के ठेले के लिए द बेस्ट पर्सन इज जिसको चाय बनानी आती हो. वहां इंजीनियर नहीं चाहिए. लेकिन अगर यही हमको एक व्हीकल बनाना है, ऑटोनॉमस व्हीकल बनाना है, एक एग्जांपल देता हूं, या हमें एक ऑटोनॉमस टैंक बनाना है, या हमें कोई एक नया मोबाइल बनाना है, सो द बेस्ट पर्सन इज जिसको मोबाइल बनाना आता हो, द पर्सन हु इज नोइंग अबाउट द हार्डवेयर, द पर्सन हु इज नोइंग अबाउट नो अबाउट द बेस्ट ऑफ द स्क्रीन, द पर्सन हु नो अबाउट बेस्ट ऑफ द ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, राइट? मार्केटिंग के लिए तो बहुत लोग हैं. मार्केटिंग के लिए वी कैन हायर अ गुड पर्सन हु विल मार्केट द प्रोडक्ट फॉर अस. इफ यू हैव मनी इन द पॉकेट, योर एडवर्टाइजमेंट विल रन ऑन द टीवी थ्रू आउट द डे, राइट? कुछ नहीं भी बचेगा तो आईपीएल के मैच होते हैं, लगा दो हेलमेट पे कहीं पे, योर प्रोडक्ट विल बी मार्केटेड. सो दैट इज नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. द थिंग इज वी शुड बी टेक्निकल साउंड, बिकॉज टेक्निकली लोगों को नहीं पता, दैट्स वाई देयर बिजनेस आर फेलिंग. जिस चीज का वो बिजनेस कर रहे हैं उसका टेक्निकल ही नहीं पता, उसके अलावा सब कुछ पता है. सो दिस इज माई वन सेंट ऑन दिस. अगर हमें आगे जाके जॉब करनी है, सो वी शुड बी वेरी श्योर अबाउट द टेक्नोलॉजी वी आर लर्निंग. हमसे बेटर कोई नहीं होना चाहिए. लोग होंगे हमसे बेटर, बट फॉर आवर सेल्फ हमसे बेटर कोई नहीं होना चाहिए. सम और द अदर वे मैं कर दूंगा, हमारी ये फीलिंग होनी चाहिए. कहीं से भी करना पड़े, आई विल डू इट. आई हैव दिस मच ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग, राइट? इफ वी आर स्टार्टिंग अ वेंचर इन फ्यूचर, लेट इट बी अ वेंचर ऑफ आवर फादर, तो हम वहीं तक तो नहीं करेंगे. वी विल टेक इट टू द नेक्स्ट लेवल. If we take example of Reliance, Dhirubhai Ambani left the business of petroleum only, but Mukesh Ambani took it to next level. Now the next generation took it to the next level by bringing Geo. Now if you go, you will find Geo stores. I mean, the kids of Mukesh Ambani are dealing with Geo. They are working with Geo mobile, they are working with Geo telecommunication, they are working with Geo fiber, they are working with Geo petrol pumps. So they are taking it to the next level. Their fundamentals are very clear. So even if you have a family business, you're not supposed to get stuck till there. You have to expand it as per the needs of the present day. Then only you will be able to survive and be in a position to earn from it. Otherwise it will collapse. Many of the businesses have already collapsed because they were not having a vision for future. So technology is the key which we have to add in every business to upscale it. भाई मेरी एक दुकान है कहीं पे, कोने पे दुकान है, कौन आएगा उसके पास? बट इफ द सेम शॉप गेट कनेक्टेड विद Amazon, कहीं से भी ऑर्डर आ जाएगा और चला भी जाएगा. सो टेक्नोलॉजी इज द की, वी हैव टू लर्न इट, राइट? अगर हम अपने आप को देखें, वी ऑल आर अ रिसोर्स. मुझे बहुत नॉलेज है, मैं घर में बैठा हुआ हूँ, मुझे कौन पूछेगा? बट एट द सेम टाइम इफ आई पुट माई रेज्यूमे ऑन नौकरी, आई विल गेट 10 कॉल्स. तो कोई ना कोई तो हायर कर लेगा ना. सो naukri.com is the technology here. Computer and internet is the technology. So see the advantage. You as a student is doing this podcast by sitting in Chennai and I being in Delhi. How it is becoming possible? Because of the technology. So we have to incorporate technology in every other thing in our life. Then only we can upscale that particular domain.
That's insightful, sir. Did you hold any leadership roles or responsibilities within student organizations or clubs during your college years? If so, how did those experiences contribute to your leadership skills and shape your perspectives?
Okay. So in my last assignment, I was not holding any direct involvement in any of the clubs, but I was proctor of a class. I will just focus on the proctorship. I was regularly interacting with students. It was not like once in 6 months. It was like every week conversation, because I told you in the beginning, we are dealing with humans and humans face problem every day. So it was more about motivating the students to you know come across the problems and sail through the problems very easily. That is the first thing. But yes, in my past experience, I was part of IEEE chapter, and there we were actively contributing to I mean, when we are when we are a leader in a team, I mean, for student related roles, I think the best role we play is of, a guide or a motivator, because students are very much proactive nowadays. Students have, larger vision or a bigger vision as compared to the teacher. They come with their vision that we want to execute this. If it is feasible in sense that, it is not harming anyone, if it is, good for the society, and it is, contributing for the upliftment of the student and of the institute, so obviously we go ahead with it. So there is no problem in it. This particular role of leadership in student related activities is something that we are more like a guardian, right? Because I am not leading from the front, right? I am basically holding the students that they should not fail. Try to understand my point. Suppose you are my student in class, you are running a club, so my responsibility is that you should not fail as a student to run that project. You should lead it. I should be able enough to motivate you to lead that group or that club. Getting my point? So there we are more of a guardian figure rather a leader, because we are sitting on the back bench, right? We are the back strength or the bench strength of the students, because ultimately it is the students who have to execute everything. So we are the bench support. Whenever, wherever it is required, we are with you, right? But actually, with those, I mean, clubs and everything, it is you who are developing the leadership skills.
Could you please describe instances where you had to balance academic, part-time work, and extracurricular involvement? How did you manage your time effectively?
भाई देखो, ये अपने हाथ में होता है, ठीक
Hmm.
है? इतने समझदार हम सब हैं जिनको पता है कि 24 घंटे होते हैं दिन में, बचपन से सुनते आ रहे हैं. वी ऑल नो डैट वी हैव 24 आवर्स. जब भूख लगे खाना खाओ, जब नींद आए तो सो जाओ, एंड अंदर से एक मोटिवेशन होनी चाहिए कुछ करने की. देखो, एक गधे को घोड़ा नहीं बना सकते क्योंकि वो कभी घोड़े की तरह नहीं भागेगा, और एक घोड़े को कभी गधा नहीं बना सकते कि वो मजदूरी करेगा. ट्राई टू बी आई एम ट्राइंग टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट हियर. मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि मैं घोड़ा हूँ या गधा हूँ, वो वाली बात नहीं है. आई एम जस्ट स्पीकिंग इन जनरल. तो भाई, अगर इफ वी आर मोटिवेटेड फ्रॉम इनसाइड कि हमें ये करना है, देन देर इज नो टाइम लिमिट. भाई, जस्ट जस्ट टेक एग्जांपल ऑफ योरसेल्फ. पूरा साल पढ़ाई नहीं करी, एग्जाम से एक रात पहले क्यों नींद नहीं आती? क्यों पूरा सिलेबस एक रात में हो जाता है? डू यू हैव आंसर फॉर दिस? पूरा 6 महीना पढ़ाई नहीं करी, तब लगता है बुक में 400 पेजेस हैं, बट एग्जाम से एक रात पहले 400 पेजेस कैसे पढ़ हो जाते हैं?
पता नहीं.
There is no answer to it. So same is with us. We are priority driven people, right? Right. If I'm feeling good, I will play. If I'm feeling sad, I will listen to music or I will sleep. राइट. हाँ, लेकिन हमें पता होना चाहिए हमारी लाइफ की प्रायोरिटीज क्या हैं. अब जैसे यू आस्क मी हाउ यू बैलेंस योर एकेडमिक, हाउ यू बैलेंस योर पर्सनल एंड हाउ यू बैलेंस्ड अदर थिंग्स. इट इज वेरी सिंपल. Just wake up early in the morning, right? Just wake up early in the morning. Try to, I mean, it is not necessary that you have to wake up early in the morning. You just have to manage your time, the time when you feel that the thing is convenient to do. What I feel is wake up early in the morning, give, I will not emphasize on exercise because I'm not a exercise freak. So whatever research I have to do, I used to do in early morning. Whatever new I have to learn, whatever I have to study, I used to do that in early morning. My routine is like, I wake up by 3:30 or 4. Then, for 2 hours, just give some time for your studies, whatever you want to learn, then do a brisk walk, right? And then come to the college whenever there is a class. Teach the students whenever you are free. Just try to learn new things. If you want to explore a new concept, just do that. Otherwise, free time is always there. It is up to you whether you want to kill that time or utilize that time. After college, come to home, take rest, have your food, spend some time with your family. So it is like that only. It is we who have to prioritize everything. Otherwise, the time is same for everyone. And we know this very well, that we can cover a 400-page book just 2 hours before the exam. There are students who start start going through the syllabus and notes in the lift, going from ground floor to sixth floor before the exam, and during those 6 floors they cover the entire syllabus. So it is up to us. ये मुझसे ज्यादा आप लोगों को पता है क्या होता है, कैसे होता है। ठीक है ना, कैट का सिलेबस ग्राउंड फ्लोर से 6 फ्लोर तक कवर हो जाता है सिर्फ मोबाइल में नोट्स देख के। तो भाई 6 महीने की पढ़ाई इज नथिंग। इट इज मोर योर प्रायोरिटी एट दैट टाइम। उस टाइम सोचो माइंड कितना फास्ट काम कर रहा होता है। अगर एग्जाम में बैठे हो, आंसर नहीं आता, बस एक वर्ड बता दो, आगे का मैं खुद लिख दूंगा। सो हाउ योर माइंड इज वर्किंग एट दैट टाइम? You have answer to this, and the people who will watch this, they will also relate to this very well, कि एक वर्ड बता दो, बाकी मैं खुद लिख दूंगा।
हाँ, एक वर्ड वाला तो होता है।
राइट, सो ऐसा ही है। हमें सिर्फ हिंट चाहिए कि है क्या ये, बाकी तो हम अपने आप कर ही लेंगे।
Reflecting on your college journey, were there any mentors, professors, or industrial professionals who played a vital role in guiding your academic and career choices?
Yes, there are many people. There were many people. Were and are, both are there. But yes, the very first thing is, I will say here, it is my family who is the biggest, motivator. Because, you spend most of your emotional time with family. Otherwise, it is all professional. If you are emotionally fit, I think you can achieve anything. If you are emotionally fit, if you are mentally fit. So the first credit goes to my family, my wife, and obviously my child. They are motivators, because if they are keeping me happy, my parents, if they are keeping me happy, I can do everything, right? That is the first thing. Now, if you talk about the professional aspect of this, my PhD supervisor is my biggest inspiration. And as time and when required, he is the only person I reach out to. And I think he has solution to every problem. He is with Punjab University, UIT. I think he has solution to every problem I'm facing. If it is related to academics, if it is related to professionalism, right, or if it is related to some professional activity. So I think we are not supposed to get dependent on hundred of people. We have to identify one person who can be our friend, guide, and everything else, right? But that one person should be, you should say that, that one person should be at least master, because he should also have been seen such phase in his life. So for this, I will not cite multiple people. I will only say that my PhD co-supervisor, he is the person which helps me out in, get to know about the new technologies, because he's very up to date. He is the only person, help me out in, writing the research papers, motivating me for writing the research papers, carrying out the research. And he is the only person who tells me about, okay, this is going to be the future, so just try to work in this direction, right? So I personally don't rely on multiple people. And for myself, it is only my PhD co-supervisor whom I am most dependent upon for my survival. I will specify this word survival, because ultimately we have to survive. Even in academics, the survival is based on learning. Like in life, money and food is required for survival. In academics, learning is required for survival. So I think my survival is coming from there. He is always with me. And professionally, yes, I am associated with many people, but that is all professional. I mean, there we divide the work and work accordingly. But yes, to work, first you have to be, you have to be emotionally fit. And I will just put this question on to you. If you are emotionally fit, just see your, energy level to study, to play, and to do everything. But if your emotional level is down, you will not be able to study, you will not be able to play, right? Because you will lose interest in everything. So I think instead of relying on multiple people or many people, we should be, in touch with a person who is, knowing about, all those things which we are going through. Suppose if it is academics, that person should be related to academics only, and he should be, the best friend, or the best guide to help us out to decide what to do next. Because at times we fail to take good decisions or right decisions, so ultimately it is the other person who, help us out to, select the best possible option.
थैंक यू सो मच सर फॉर शेयरिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन एंड सर अब क्या करेंगे हम मैं आपको दो ऑप्शंस दूंगा और आपको एक को उसमें से चूज़ करना है ओके
देखो, ऑप्शन तो चार होने चाहिए, दो से क्या ही होता है। हेड और टेल है, एक ही चीज आएगी, तो वो तो बहुत ही डाइसी सा हो
ठीक
जाता है भाई। अगर हम, मैंने तो महाभारत देखी है, उसमें पासा होता है, पासे में बहुत सारी वैल्यू होती हैं। जब बहुत सारी वैल्यूज होती है ना, खेलने का मजा तब आता है। अगर हेड एंड टेल ही करना है तो एक वैल्यू ही आएगी, और जब हम लाइफ के एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर करते हैं तो हेड एंड टेल पे नहीं चलते। मैं आंसर पहले ही दे देता हूँ।
चलो मैं फिर कोशिश करूँगा कि आपको दो से ज़्यादा ऑप्शंस दूँ मैं
ठीक है ना, क्योंकि लाइफ के डिसीजंस जो है वो हेड एंड टेल पे नहीं चलते। वो बहुत सारे हमें, मतलब बहुत सब हमें कॉम्बिनेशन या बहुत सब हमें ऑप्शंस देखने पड़ते हैं, और जो हमारे लिए बेस्ट है हमें वो चूज करना पड़ता है। ठीक है ना, तो दो वाला ऑप्शन इज नॉट गुड, तीन चार ऑप्शन हो तो मजा आता है।
सर सो कमिंग टू द डेवलपमेंट वेबसाइट डेवलपमेंट एंड्रॉयड डेवलपमेंट और यू और एआई एमएल कौन सा चूज़ करोगे
देखो, एआई जो है ना, एक ब्रॉड फील्ड है। अभी अभी इतना बात करने के बाद भी आप नहीं समझे।
नि-
आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज अ टर्म। आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस मतलब नकली इंटेलिजेंस, नकली बुद्धिमत्ता, या फिर अप्राकृतिक बुद्धिमत्ता। अगर मैं हिंदी में बोलूं तो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, राइट? एंड हाउ टू अचीव आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, दैट इज द क्वेश्चन हियर। आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज जस्ट अ टर्म, दैट इज अप्राकृतिक, राइट, बुद्धिमत्ता. So we can achieve artificial intelligence using machine learning for small data sets. For big data sets, we can use deep learning, right? And I think if you are an enthusiast, obviously you will start with machine learning, because initially you will work with small data, but gradually you have to work with big data. So you will move to deep learning. So ML and DL are set of techniques which are used for artificial intelligence. So there is no choice. Artificial intelligence is achieved by ML and DL depending upon the problem. तो एआई तो कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, वो तो एक टर्म है, हमें कैसे करना है। बट फिर प्रॉब्लम के ऊपर आता है, छोटी प्रॉब्लम है तो वो एमएल से भी हो जाएगा, राइट? लेकिन अगर कोई बड़ा डेटा सेट है, बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, जहाँ पे बहुत ज्यादा डेटा है, तो डीप लर्निंग है। फ्यूचर में कुछ और आ जाएगा, बोल्ट्समैन मशीन है, फ्यूचर में हम वहां चले जाएंगे, राइट, जो अभी हम एक्सप्लोर नहीं कर रहे हैं। सो द थिंग इज, अभी जैसे ट्रांसफॉर्मर्स हैं, जीपीटी की हम बात करते हैं, ट्रांसफॉर्मर्स हैं, हमारे पास विजन ट्रांसफॉर्मर्स भी हैं। दोज आर एबल टू visualize the things, I mean for image classification and other things. So there is no limit to it. After every 4 or 5 months, a new architecture or algorithm is coming, which is just replacing the previous one. 1989 में आया था आर्टिफिशियल न्यूरल नेटवर्क। आज भी हम आर्टिफिशियल न्यूरल नेटवर्क पढ़ते हैं। पहला एक्सपेरिमेंट आर्टिफिशियल न्यूरल नेटवर्क से ही करते हैं, बिकॉज अगर हमें आर्टिफिशियल न्यूरल नेटवर्क ही नहीं आता होगा तो हम CNN कैसे सीख लेंगे, राइट? अगर हमें बेसिक लाइन की इक्वेशन ही नहीं आती होगी, एक बहुत सिंपल सा बात कर रहा हूँ, 10th में लाइन की इक्वेशन होती है, राइट? y = ax + b। अगर हमें वो ही नहीं आता तो मशीन लर्निंग का रिग्रेशन कैसे सीख लेंगे हम? और अगर हम और भी बेसिक लेवल में जाएं, अगर हमें लीनियर अलजेब्रा ही नहीं आता क्लास 8th का, या हमें कह लो कि भाई डिफरेंशियल और इंटीग्रल कैलकुलस ही नहीं आता 11th 12th का, तो हम कैसे कर लेंगे आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस? सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर इंटरकनेक्टेड। आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज अ ब्रॉड टर्म विच इज कवरिंग एवरीथिंग, मैथ्स, कंप्यूटर साइंस, राइट, लॉजिक एंड एवरी अदर थिंग। बट द फंडामेंटल इज लीनियर अलजेब्रा ओनली, क्योंकि मैथमेटिक्स ही हो रही है। रीजनिंग मैथमेटिक्स से ही आएगी, बिकॉज कंप्यूटर वर्क्स ऑन डिजिट्स।
Okay, so thank you so much, sir, for coming to this podcast.